Hello everyone. So in previous lecture we discussed about contrast or linear contrast, then orthogonal contrast, and then we discuss one test which is used for the comparison of contrast or linear contrast, and the test is Sheff's test. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss one test which is used for the comparison of pairs of treatment means, and the test is Tukey's test. And then we will discuss analysis of non-normal data. In this topic we will discuss one test. That test is Kruskal-Wallis test, and then we will discuss some transformations which are used to make data normal. So let us discuss about this test. Now we will see one method or one test which is used for the comparison of two treatment means. So we know that in CRD, RBD and in LSD we find ANOVA table for these designs, and with the help of ANOVA table we give conclusion about our hypothesis. But suppose with the help of ANOVA table we reject our hypothesis that there is no significant difference between treatment means or treatment effects. Then in that case our interest is which two treatment effects are differ significantly. Okay, so to test hypothesis that two treatment effects are differ significantly, we use t-test for to test this hypothesis. But there is another test which we can use for the comparison of these two treatment means, and the test is Tukey's test. So in this test we define our hypothesis for comparison of two treatment means. So our hypothesis is H naught mu I equals to mu j versus alternative is mu I is not equals to mu j, where I is not equals to j. For all I is not equals to j. So Tukey's propose a procedure for testing hypothesis for which the overall significance level is exactly alpha when sample size are equal, and at most alpha when sample sizes are unequal. So Tukey's proposed test to test the two treatment means or pairwise comparison of treatment means. So here Tukey's procedure makes use of the distribution of the studentized range statistics. So Tukey's use studentized range statistic to test given hypothesis. So it is denoted by Q, and it is defined as x bar max minus x bar minimum upon square root of MSE upon n. So here MSE is unbiased estimator of sigma square, that is mean sum of square due to error. So what is these two means? So x bar max and x bar min are the largest and smallest sample means. Okay, so these are the largest and smallest sample treatment means, and out of a group of t sample means. So suppose we want to compare t treatments, then out of so we find t sample means for that t treatments, and out of them these two are largest and smallest sample means. Then Tukey's table contains value of Q the base alpha in bracket T comma F. So here T means number of treatments and F is error degrees of freedom. So we know that error degrees of freedom is capital N minus T. So in our statistical table we have values for this Tukey's test, and that table is Tukey's table, and in that we have values for this Q with alpha T comma F. So the upper alpha percent point of Q. So where F is the number of degrees of freedom associated with the MSE, that is error degrees of freedom for equal sample sizes. So Tukey's test declares two means significantly different if the absolute value of sample differences exceeds. Okay, so when we reject our null hypothesis, if absolute value of sample differences is greater than critical value, that is absolute value of xi dot bar minus xj dot bar is greater than T alpha, and T alpha is our critical value. So xi dot bar and xj dot bar are the ith and jth treatment mean. And what is T alpha? T alpha is Q alpha T comma F into square root of MSE upon N. So this is when we use this T alpha when our sample sizes are equal. But when our sample sizes are not equal, then we use T alpha as Q with alpha T comma F upon square root of 2 into square root of MSE into 1 upon Ni plus 1 upon Nj. Okay. So this unequal sample sizes version is called as a Tukey's-Kramer procedure. So when we use this formula, this is called as Tukey-Kramer procedure. Then we find confidence 100 into 1 minus alpha % confidence interval for this mean difference. And the confidence interval is xi dot bar minus xj dot bar minus T alpha is less than equals to mu I minus mu j is less than equals to xi dot bar minus xj dot bar plus T alpha for all I is not equals to j. So this is for equal sample sizes. So when we have unequal sample sizes, we define our we define our confidence interval like xi dot bar minus xj dot bar minus our T alpha is Q alpha T comma F upon root 2 square root of MSE in bracket 1 upon Ni plus 1 upon Nj less than equals to mu I minus mu j is less than equals to xi dot bar minus xj dot bar plus this T alpha when sample sizes are not equal for all I is not equals to j. So we use this Tukey's method or this Tukey's test for the comparison of two sample or two treatment means instead of using t-test. Okay. So in this way we discuss about this this Tukey's test for comparison of all pairs of treatment means. Now we will discuss new topic, that is analysis of non-normal data. So we know that when we use t-test or some other test, our first assumption is our data must be normally distributed. But sometimes this assumption is not satisfied. So in that case, we go for a test which are similar to the t-test or other test which can be used for non-normal data. And one of the important test is Kruskal-Wallis test. So this test is used for the or to test hypothesis that t treatments are identical versus alternative is some of the treatments generate observations that are larger than others. So in Kruskal-Wallis test we use this hypothesis or we test this hypothesis. So what is the procedure for this test? So there is a statistical procedure. So our first aim is rank the observations xij. So suppose we have observations xij. So first we rank that observations in ascending order and replace each observation by its rank, say Rij, with the smallest observation having rank 1. Okay. So suppose we have observations xij, then first we rank that observations and we replace that each observation by its rank, and its ranks are denoted by Rij. So we arrange our observations in ascending order and then we rank that observations. So rank for smallest observation is 1. But in case of ties, suppose there are ties observation in our data, then how we rank that observations? So in that case, assign the average rank to each of the ties observations. So suppose we have 2 ties observations, then find average of rank of that observations and assign same rank to both observations. Suppose Ri dot be the sum of ranks in the ith treatment. Okay, so Ri dot is the rank of observations in ith treatment. So the test statistic is, to test above hypothesis, our test statistic is defined as, it is denoted by capital H. It is defined as 1 upon S square in bracket summation over I varies from 1 to t. Since we have t treatments, Ri dot square upon Ni. So Ri dot is the sum of rank of ith treatment, sum of rank of observations in ith treatment upon size of each treatment minus capital N into n plus 1 bracket square upon 4, where n is the total number of observations. So here we have Ni means number of observations in ith treatment, capital N is total number of observations, S square is the variance of the ranks. Okay, so S square is variance of the ranks, and how we define this? S square is 1 upon capital N minus 1 in bracket summation I varies from 1 to t, summation j varies from 1 to Ni, Rij minus capital N into n plus 1 bracket square upon 4. So this is some variance of ranks if there are no ties. Okay, so this S square is when ties observations are present in our data, but if there are no ties observation in our data, then this S square can be defined as capital N into capital N plus 1 upon 12. So when we have no ties observation in our data, then we use this variance for rank is S square n into n minus 1 upon 12. So our test statistic can be defined as 12 upon n into n plus 1 in bracket summation over I Ri dot square upon Ni minus capital N into capital N plus 1 bracket square upon 4. So this can be written as H equals to 12 upon capital N into capital N plus 1 summation over I Ri dot square upon Ni minus 3 times capital N plus 1. So here we take this term inside the bracket. So this N and this N will get cancelled, N plus 1 and this 1 N plus 1 will get cancelled. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we get 3 into capital N plus 1. So this test statistic is when in our data there is no ties observations are there, then we use this test statistics. So if Ni's are reasonably large, say Ni is greater than equals to 5. Ni means size of ith treatment, means number of observations in ith treatment greater than or equals to 5, then this H test statistic is distributed approximately chi-square with t minus 1 degrees of freedom under H0. Okay, so when size of each treatment is greater than or equals to 5, then this test statistic follows chi-square distribution with t minus 1 degrees of freedom. So when we reject our hypothesis, null hypothesis, if this test statistic is greater than critical value, that is chi-square with alpha percent level of significance and t minus 1 degrees of freedom, then we reject our null hypothesis at given alpha percent level of significance, else we accept our null hypothesis. So this is about Kruskal-Wallis test, which is used for the comparison of treatment means when our data is not normally distributed. Then another method is square root transformation for count data. Okay, so this square root transformation is useful for count data. Okay, that is the data follows Poisson distribution. So when we get count data, okay, suppose our variable is x and x takes value 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and these values are, or x is a random variable which is number of accidents on Mumbai highway. Okay, so we know that this case or this random variable follows Poisson distribution since we have count data. And in that case, we can use square root transformation to make our data normal. So suppose xij's are our original observations which following Poisson distribution. So one can use the transformation. Suppose our new variable is yij equals to square root of 1 plus xij. Suppose xij is our original observation, these are our original observations, and these observations are not normally distributed. Okay, so to normalize these observations or to normalize this data, we use square root transformation. So our new variable is denoted by yij, and we can make transformation, square root transformation like this, square root of 1 plus original observation. So if we transform our original data into this yij, it may be normally distributed. So if most of the values in the data set are less than 10, or and if many zeros are present, one can use the transformation yij equals to square root of 0.5 plus xij. Okay, so suppose in our data our observations are less than 10, and there are many zeros are present in our data, then with the help of this square root transformation we can get normal data. So this is another method we used to make our data normal. And next transformation and next third method is sine inverse transformation for proportion. Now when we use sine inverse transformation, if our data is binomial distributed, then we use sine inverse transformation. So this transformation is also called as angular transformation, and it is developed for binomial proportion. So when we have binomial proportion, or when our data follows binomial distribution, and that if that data is not normally distributed, so to make that data normal we use sine inverse transformation. So it can be also used for percent data. So if our data in the format of percentage, then we can use this type of transformation. So suppose small p be the proportions, then we replace it by angle A. Suppose p is our proportion, then we replace this p in terms of angle. So sine of A, since A is an angle, so we take sine of A equals to square root of this proportion. So this angle can be defined as sine inverse of square root of p. Okay, so in this way we use this transformation for or in case of proportion, or when our data follows binomial distribution, then we use this sine inverse transformation to make our data normal. Because there are many there is a assumptions for many tests that our data must be normally distributed. So in this way, with the help of Kruskal-Wallis test or with the help of sine inverse transformation, square root transformation, we can make our data normal. So this is about non-parametric tests. Thank you.